Okay, 6 trucks just passed full of gravel or going to get gravel or whatever. This place is booming with USA Parkway and all these companies coming in. Anyway, back to climbing ripples. So we should go look at some. Hopefully we can get up on this feature. Don't let my dogs out at this outcrop just because there's quite a bit of traffic. So making our way up the colluvial slope. So we'll start here. Pretty horizontally bedded, thinly bedded, laminated, silty sands. And right about here we're starting to see some climbing ripple cross stratification. There's a nice ripple here that was climbing in this direction. And the angle of climb, whether it's like this, all the way up to vertical, is some indication of the proportion of sediment in the water being moved by the tractive flow. So it's the sediment supply versus the amount of energy to move the slope. See, there's another truck full of gravel going to build something somewhere. Another angle of climb. These ones are rather low. This is a really nice one. You can see this whole package moving up through here. And so there was some sediment in here, but a lot of the sediment is being reworked as it's moving down. And when you get a steeper angle of climb, it means that the proportion of sediment, or the ratio of sediment to the tractive flow, is greater. So more nice ripples moving up in this direction. The current is going in downstream, of course, in that direction. So let me just walk along the face here, and we'll point out a couple things as we go. Angle of climb. So as you go up section, maybe it gets a little steeper, the angle of climb. And so what Charlie Bristow's thought was, and the more I've looked at this, the more I agree with him, and I think that was a really nice observation that he had made. From about here up, this is a package of rapidly deposited silts and fine sands, rapid, I don't know about how rapid a flow, but definitely current lane, climbing ripple cross stratification. Really shallow angle here still. So I think farther downstream along this outcrop things get steeper, but we'll check. And so his thought, and my thought, I'll just claim it now since I've given attribution, is that this could be sort of a package from here up a couple of meters before it goes back into laminated. This is a package of rapidly deposited sediment charged water, and you can see these beautiful rhythmic ripples. And so yeah, it would be nice to figure out how old this is. This would be an excellent candidate for luminescence dating because it's full of silt and sand. There are a few fractures through it, but it's pretty much undisturbed, not bioturbated. There's probably a lot of quartz and feldspars in here, which are perfect for optical stimulated luminescence dating, or just luminescence dating. And so let's look at this difference here. You can kind of see that there is this pretty shallow angle of climb right through here. And so these ripples are migrating in this direction and filling up. But you get up above, start getting up into this zone, and this angle of climb is getting pretty steep right up through here. Okay, and so this sediment there's more sediment in the water than there was when this was first deposited, probably just because this angle of climb is higher, meaning there's a higher proportion of suspended sediment, suspended and tractive load sediment in the water. And so maybe some of this is suspended and it's just draping these ripples that start out down here in a form concordant manner. There's a couple little ripples like this that suggest that maybe there's a little oscillatory flow, because these are symmetrical just along this tiny little horizon. Especially this kind of thing looks like oscillatory ripples, and these are wave ripples. And so it's showing you that whereas these are current ripples, these guys, and so they're showing the current going in this direction. These guys are oscillatory, so the current is moving back and forth. It'd be like you're looking on the floor of a shallow bed. And you can trace this particular bed. It's got a little topography to it, 4 or 5 few centimeters. I can trace it throughout this outcrop. And so this was a horizon where the sediment, there was not much of a current, and maybe this, the sediment sort of stopped being deposited for a moment, for a little while, brief geologic moment. I don't know how long. Minutes, days, weeks, months, I don't know. Not years. And there was standing water, you're in a lake, and maybe it was relatively shallow. You were above wave base and you had some waves sloshing back and forth here. And if we look around, we're still in the Truckee River Canyon. And so the fetch here is relatively small, a couple of kilometers maybe. And so you couldn't generate very large waves in a protected sort of narrow arm of the lake such as this. And so what that tells about the sort of the ancient water depth, the paleo water depth of these ripples here, are that well, basically that the water was shallow when these were formed, because these waves couldn't have been more than, I would say less than a meter tall, and they're not penetrating much into the water column. So, when this bed was being formed, oscillatory wave ripples, the water level would be within decimeters, a meter, a couple at the most probably. Not too many wave ripples in here, but there's this guy right there, so that's kind of cool. So we're continuing our trek down the outcrop, and we see a lot of the same thing. Where's our friend, the wave ripple layer? It's right there, pretty nice. Still buying that story. Little lens of wave ripples, maybe right above it too. There. Pretty cool. All right. Now we got some carvings, ML and FLI. There's a face. AC/DC carving's been here for a long time. It's being kind of covered. Don't see it yet. So, what else is there to see on this outcrop? Hey, another wave ripple horizon right here. You can see that it has this sort of undulatory look to it. It has a flat bed, but the top of it is undulatory. And if you were to dissect through here, what you would see is these little lamina that chevron upward bounded lamina. Basically, let's see if I can do this. They cross like this at their crests. That means oscillatory flow, back and forth. It's not a current flow. And you can see this one going all the way down the outcrop. Okay, so there is some good evidence of wave action in here, but lots of evidence of currents as well. So overall, this is a fluvial deltaic package, and it might, this sort of current rippled package in the middle with a few horizons of wave rippled stuff. This could be distal Yakalap deposits, accumulated very rapidly. So the thing would be to get some luminescence dates on these, and hopefully I can talk my colleague Amanda into doing that, and we can get some money to do it. So really nice, still climbing ripple. cross stratification, steep angle of climb. And here we're coming into some soft sediment deformation. So you can see the beds kind of dip down and they come back up. And, you know, is it earthquakes? Is it not? I don't think it's definitive. So, more wave ripples, horizons down below. So pretty cool outcrop. And up on top of this thing, there's a lot of sort of basaltic, andesitic rich gravels, but they look pretty rounded. So I haven't really been up on top of this outcrop at all. Well, one day I will. And so those are either fluvial gravels or rounded beach gravel, but like I said, this is not a place where you get big wave action. And so you can see those boulders up there. They're well rounded, and so they'd have to be fluvial. And so maybe some of these are fluvial gravels out of the Truckee River. They're pretty bouldery, so maybe they are Yakalip. I don't know. I've not really studied this in detail. This has been more of just like a field trip stop, just showing a few different things. But it's a very interesting spot. I'll walk across the road, and so we can get a long view of this, and then we'll wrap for this spot. So, big trucks. This guy's a cement truck. All right. So, on top of this big cliffy package with all the ripples in it, both wave and current, there are these coarse volcanic gravel, bouldery gravel things. And I thought they might be alluvial sand, like the stuff on the very top over there. But they've got to be some sort of fluvial or something like that, Yakalip. So, on to the next spot.